Okay, so hey there guys. So today's video is going to be a update video on how I have been doing on spending less money on makeup slash a low buy. It's not really a no buy, it's more so a low buy. And also potentially sharing with you guys my makeup wish list for 2019 or my makeup wish list as for now. I just hope my lips look good. They actually look pretty good. Yeah, they look fine. So I just finished doing my makeup. So I wanted to update you guys on how I have been basically a smarter makeup spender and spending less money on impulse buys and things that I actually don't really even need in my collection. I have so much makeup and I really have just been utilizing newer products and I've been using them a lot more often since I have stopped purchasing so much makeup. I actually have been utilizing and using my newer products a lot more than I would be if I had to test out like 4 or 5 eyeshadow palettes at one time. I haven't purchased any new eyeshadow palettes this year. I really wanted to get the Milani Obsessions palette from CVS recently. And I also wanted to get a couple of more glitter and glows from Marshalls when I shared the one glitter and glow that I got and the one Stila Vivid and Vibrant eyeshadow that I got from Marshalls. When I went there, I told you guys, I shared that story in that video where I said that I was like shopping around and I was like basically standing in front of the stand, like looking at all the colors. And I was like, I was going to get all 4 of the colors and I was going to get the, like all 4 shades of the Vivid and Vibrant eyeshadows. I'm like, Caitlin, you don't need all of them. Pick one of each. So that's more so of what I've been doing lately, is just picking one of something that I really want. And that's it. Like, ever since I shared that makeup haul with you guys, I haven't purchased any more makeup since then. Also, because I don't really have the financial means to purchase more makeup right now. I have been getting a lot of food for my boyfriend lately because he's waiting to get his tax return and I'm also waiting to get my tax return. So basically my money has been going to meals for us and that's pretty much it. I am going out with my friend later. Like, I wouldn't just be wearing this makeup just to film. I am going out to see her at the mall and we're going to go shopping and possibly eat. I mean, obviously we're going to eat there and we're also probably going to play some games at the arcade there later, maybe. Depends on if I want to spend the money because I'm only really going to spend money on eating. So basically I've been kind of thinking about more so like what my needs are and have been having like extra money to put towards like other things now. I mean, not really that much extra money because I have spent a lot of money the past 4 days right after I got paid, which is kind of crazy that I already spent more money. But I know that it's going to be more worth it in the long run for me to not be purchasing so much makeup because I have so much makeup. I don't need anything. And going back to what I was saying about the Milani palette, I decided not to get it at CVS when I was there. I just wanted to use my 40% off coupon that I had gotten from CVS on one item. And I think I'd rather put it towards a couple of other things in the drugstore that I've been wanting rather than getting that eyeshadow palette. Because there are 2 eyeshadow palettes I am interested in. It's that palette and I am interested in the new Beauty Bakery eyeshadow palette. And I will share that with you guys when I talk about my wish list and everything. But I have to choose one or the other. I can't just buy both of them because I know I'm going to overwhelm myself if I buy both. I really don't need to add another eyeshadow palette to my collection, but honestly, I might get rid of a couple of eyeshadow palettes at some point. I'm definitely going to get rid of the ones that are sitting on my shelf here that I never touch anymore. I probably will actually get rid of them. But again, I really have been having like a happy medium with rotating my eyeshadows lately and rotating single eyeshadows. I've been wearing a lot of my pigments this month. I'm actually wearing the ColourPop, the Twins pigment on my lid, and I'm also wearing the Little Star pigment, Little Star lipstick from Captain Lights as well. I actually have been using both of these a lot lately, and the same thing with the Lion Pigment as well. I've worn all of them, all of these things 3 times now. This is the third time I'm wearing this lipstick. Like, this was the only new lipstick I added to my collection, and I'm still like so overwhelmed with my lipsticks, but I love this lipstick. So I just want to like have that exciting feeling to get new makeup again rather than being like so overwhelmed every time I get it to test it out and wear everything. Because as you guys know, I am so anal about using everything when I get it because I feel like it's such a waste if I don't, and also because I really want to test out the products. And I feel like when I got the ColourPop and the stuff from Marshalls, I was excited to test out those products because I didn't overwhelm myself getting too many products at one time. I got those over the course of 2 months. And like I said, ever since I made the ColourPop order, which I think was about 3 weeks ago now, I haven't gotten one stitch of makeup. The only thing I had to go get, actually, well, I did get one makeup item, but it's not really a makeup item. It's a everyday essential for me. I had to go replace my setting spray, so I did go get the Milani Make It Last setting spray because my NYX Dewy Skin Mist is pretty much all the way down to here, so I had to go purchase that. Because setting spray is like an everyday essential for me. And then I also got the Simple Micellar Water because I was running extremely low on that. So I had to go replace it and get a new one. So that's obviously something I use every single day that I use to take my makeup off. So obviously I have to get that. And I'm also running extremely low on my e.l.f. makeup remover wipes. I don't necessarily use them to take off my makeup that often because I really don't like them to take off my makeup. They irritate my skin a lot because they are very heavily fragranced. I don't know why my bra is bothering me. Sorry if that's TMI, but it is bothering me a little bit. Let me just like fix it. I am wearing my Aladdin shirt today. I actually haven't worn this year yet, and I kind of wanted to wear like an orangey, pinky look today. It's not really pinky. It's like a bronzy duochrome. It's just so gorgeous. And I just wanted to incorporate it into my look, so I was like, why not just wear this shirt today? So anyway, I might wear like a cami instead. I don't know, it's just bothering me. So anyway, maybe I just need to make it less tight or something. I don't know. Hold on one second. Okay, so anyway, so what I was saying about like not spending as much money. So like I said, I went out and bought the micellar water and the setting spray. Those are 2 things that I use all the time. I'm probably going to have to go get more makeup wipes at some point. And then I also have to get probably my nighttime moisturizer very soon because I'm like almost completely done with it. And that's like the second one that I've used up. So obviously that's skincare. Like skincare does not count with my no-buy. So, which I don't understand why people don't keep skincare and makeup separate when they do their no-buy. Like maybe if you do spend too much money on skincare, like, and you know that it's something that you're going to use every single day, go and repurchase it. Like, but like don't purchase anything else. Like if you have way too much skincare that you don't use, don't go out and purchase anything else or try and utilize those products. But this is not about skincare, but like I said, those are things I use all the time. I have to go buy it. I use them. I need them. But for like the setting spray, like there are some people set like kind of ridiculous rules for themselves, and I'm not like saying this as an insult towards anyone, but if there's a product that you know that you use every single day and you're going to feel so bad about going out and repurchasing it, I think that you shouldn't feel bad about that because I watch some YouTubers like let me make sure if I get her name right. But let me talk about the first YouTuber first because I do remember her name. I was watching Jordan Vargas, and I actually really like her. You should go subscribe to her. She's really sweet. She's been commenting back to me after I left a comment on her video, and she was asking me about how I've been doing in my no-buy because she's also been trying to do a no-buy this year, and she's just so sweet. I love her accent. I love listening to her. I love hearing about what she purchases. I've been watching more of her videos, and she's just awesome. And basically, she broke down and ended up buying like some makeup items last month. And like I said, even though I called my video a no buy. It really wasn't a no buy. It was more so a low buy, trying to not purchase half as much makeup as I did in December, which I didn't really purchase too much makeup in January. Like I said, all I got was like the couple of items from Marshall's, which was like 4 items, and then like my beauty blender and the highlighter from Nikki Tutorials. But basically she was saying that this purchase started her down the rabbit hole of purchasing more things, and she ended up spending like $500 in that haul. Like, for me, I don't even spend $500 in one shot for a makeup haul. Even when I would purchase a lot of makeup, I probably wouldn't spend more than like probably $300 altogether. Like, from the stuff from Sephora, but that would be over the course of a couple of weeks. Like, it wouldn't be just all in one shot. So I've always been like good about that. I don't like spend it all in one shot. I'll probably spend like $500 in 1 month, which is still money I could have saved and had in the bank right now. But basically she was saying that she purchased the L'Oreal Lash Primer, and she was like kicking herself for purchasing it and saying, she's like, I was really missing this in my collection. I really loved it, and I feel really bad that I had to go and repurchase it, but I was really missing it. And I really feel like people shouldn't get down on themselves about that. Like, it's a lash primer that you're going to use every single day. If you know that it's something that's a staple in your collection that you're going to use, like an eyeshadow primer, a setting spray, a mascara, like things that you know that you're going to, a brow product, like things that you know that you're going to use and you're going to go through, and you know you're going to end up repurchasing it again at some point, you should not get down on yourself about it. I know it kind of feels like cheesy and like motivational for me to say this, but I think it's crazy like that people would actually get down on themselves about that, because I don't think you should. Like, I don't think you should feel guilty about going out and purchasing one product that you use that's empty, you're really, really missing it in your collection. You should go get it. If that's the only money you're going to spend on makeup for like 6 months, go get it. Like, you shouldn't feel bad about that. If you have the money for it and you're really missing it, go get it. Or go get a cheaper drugstore alternative, you know, like, or get it from, see if you can go get it at Marshall's and see if you can find it there. Then you'll end up spending half price. So I understand maybe like with bronzers or powders or something, you don't really want to go out and spend it on a new one until you like finish your other powders in your collection. Those are your own rules, and that's different if you have like another product that you can replace it with, then replace it with that and start using that. But I don't think someone should be so mad at themselves for, you know, for repurchasing something like that. And I was watching another YouTuber named LS, and I also really have been loving her videos. She's awesome. I love her makeup style. It's so out of the box. It's so awesome. I love it. Her eye looks are always so bold and beautiful. She always puts like super bold glitter on her inner corners and on her lid. Like, I love her eyeshadow look, so please go subscribe to her. And she, again, was making a update video on her no-buy, and she was saying, uh-oh, I broke down and bought something, and she got the Anastasia Dip Brow, and she had used up an entire one first, and she was basically saying that she had to mix it with a mixing medium just to scrape the rest of it out and to use it. And she was like, guys, I'm sorry, but I had to go repurchase this. It's like, it's a brow product that you use every single day, so you shouldn't feel upset about it if you're gonna go repurchase something that you know you're gonna use. So I just don't think people should hate on people for repurchasing something or buying something that they know that they're gonna use so much. So I just think people are kind of like, I'm just like, why would you hate on somebody about that? Like, it's not your money that you're wasting, or even though that's not really a waste of money to me, but people think that like people have to be so strict about their rules, or they're lying to their audience about, oh, you purchased this, so you're lying to us. You spent money. It's like, no. Like, for me, that is not a rule for me at all in this no buy. I am not restricting myself to products that I use or products that I need. I purchase one brow pencil every 6 months. So once I use it up, I go and purchase a new one because obviously it's an everyday essential for me. Same thing for my brow gel. I'm going to go repurchase a new one once it's done or once it's expired. Like, I'm not going to scrape out the remains of a brow gel and use it to death just because I can't go purchase more makeup. No, I'm going to go get it. Like, that's so stupid. So just, really think about your purchases. Don't kind of just take a minute and look back at what you're buying. Like, at the same time, you do not have to listen to me whatsoever. But I feel like I know, trust me, I know how it feels when you get a package in the mail, you open up that box, and you put it on your face for the first time. There is no other feeling that can replicate that. It's like a drug. It's like a high for me. And it's like a high for us makeup addicts or it's just the feeling of opening it up, seeing it brand new, swatching it, taking it out of the package. I'm kind of doing this backwards. So taking it out of the package, taking it out of the box, the actual box that it comes in. I love outer packaging for makeup. There's this weird thing about me. I hate throwing it out. I'll keep it for weeks until I actually, get rid of it. Because also I don't want my mom to see all the empty makeup boxes of things that I'm buying. So I'll, keep it for weeks and then I'll finally, throw it out. So that's mostly why I won't throw it out right away. But, it's like being a kid, opening up presents when you were little. It's that same kind of high. I feel like with makeup, it's like toys for grown-ups, like toys for grown-up girls or boys. And I feel like with makeup, it's a way to kind of escape or kind of recreate that creativity and imagination that you had as a kid, but it's for adults. This would be me coloring in these colors when I was little, but instead I can put it on my face now. So I feel that makeup is a way to kind of reminisce that or replicate that kind of feeling that you had as a kid when you would wear color or draw a picture or use your imagination or play with Barbies or play with whatever. That's how I've always seen it. And when I was a kid, I, of course, had my own obsessions with certain things, like with Barbies. I was obsessed with Barbies. I was obsessed with, these Wish boxes from Claire's. I was obsessed with American Girl dolls. Then I was obsessed with Hot Topic in, high school to college. And then now I'm obsessed with Lucky because I work there and I love all of their clothes. I have way too much clothing from them, but I can't seem to stop purchasing clothes from them. But, now I find that I have more money to purchase clothing from Lucky rather than purchasing makeup. And that has been making me feel better because it's now I can purchase my own clothing. Not that I go on a shopping spree and buy 10 things, but I'll buy a shirt here and there. And I won't have to ask my mom to reimburse me for it. But also she's kind of refused to reimburse me now. But if I want something, I have to be able to afford it at some point. And I'm kind of coming to that realization that I'm not a kid anymore. I'm 30 years old and I need to realize that I need to become more responsible with my money. So I really have just been limiting myself to, I have not stepped in Sephora since I got the Beauty Blender cleanser. So I haven't stepped in Sephora in 2 months. That's unheard of for me. I haven't even went in there to replace anything. I don't need anything from them. The only thing I ever replace from them, like I said, is the Sephora cleanser, the solid cleanser, or the Beauty Blender cleanser. Because I find that those are the two best ones out of cheaper ones that I've tried. Those are still the two best cleansers. So I go out and repurchase those because I need them. Because obviously I need to clean my makeup sponge. So I think that since it's such an amazing feeling to do a first impressions video. I love doing first impressions videos and I might do one again at some point. Maybe I'll have that excitement to get new stuff and maybe I'll try and work other things out of my collection and do more declutters and kind of just replace them with things that I really, really want to try. But at the same time, I'm trying to keep my makeup spending down and buying less makeup because one, I'm going to move out of my house at some point. Yes, I do have a really, 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 really good way of storing my makeup now. So now I can take that with me when I end up finally, eventually moving out of my house, which is probably the main reason why I want to keep it a little bit lower in spending because I don't want to schlep all of this stuff with me when I actually do move. So that's one. And two, makeup expires. So if I don't use it, like, or put it to good enough use, like, I don't really think about it too much. If I have to get rid of it eventually, it doesn't really bother me all that much. I know it's something I purchased. I know it's something that I spent my money on. And if I have to get rid of it in a few years, I obviously have accepted that. But when I first started purchasing or collecting makeup again, I didn't really think about that. I was like, oh, whatever. I never really thought about expiration dates before I really started purchasing makeup again. I like had makeup from like 5 years ago that I was still using, like this palette from Too Faced. Remember when I showed you guys this palette in my makeup journey? And I don't call like my no buy I don't call it my no buy journey. I think that's so like so cheesy. I know it makes me sound like a drug addict. Like I understand if there's some people that are like, I'm a makeup addict, I'm a shopaholic. I understand that you can be a shopaholic, whatever. Yes, I am a makeup addict, but I'm not going to be like, I'm doing well in my makeup journey. Like it sounds like the 12 steps to recovery for like an alcoholic or something. And I'm not mocking alcoholics or drug addicts in any way. I'm just saying it makes it sound like we're insane. And I'm not going to be like, I've been doing well in my makeup journey. Like, I'm just going to update you guys, like, how I've been changing the way that I spend money on makeup and determining whether I really want something or I'm buying it because everybody else has it. So, remember this palette, this Too Faced French, I think it's called French and Fabulous palette. I was using this all the way up until college, I believe. I'm like college. And I think I used this for like 6 years at least, and I should have stopped using it way earlier before that. But I do have eyeshadow palettes in my collection that I still use that are at least 4 years old, like the chocolate bar palette, the semi-sweet chocolate bar palette. But I keep this because it's so nostalgic. I obviously don't use it anymore, but I never even touched the bronzers. I would only use it for the eyeshadows. And clearly I can pan eyeshadows since this was the only palette in my collection. Can you believe this is the only high-end palette I had until I was 26 years old? Like, when I used to go in and look at makeup, my sister used to be the one that was super into makeup, and I would go in and look at perfumes and lip glosses. Because I was only into lip gloss, and I loved perfume. Like, I was obsessed with scents and stuff. I don't know. But then somehow I got into it when I started watching YouTube and I started, like, my sister mentioned Jaclyn Hill, and then I just watched like all of her videos, and then it just went from there. So what else was I gonna say? So going back to the Milani palette, and I'm basically putting things on my list that I just really want to try, and I feel like that there's things that I'm excited to try. And since I haven't purchased any makeup since I got the stuff from ColourPop, I'm feeling better about my makeup collection. Yes, I am still overwhelmed. Like, I am still overwhelmed with lipsticks. Like, this is what I was going to say, is that I do declutter lipsticks the most out of anything in my collection because I feel like with lipsticks, they go bad a lot faster than powder products. And I can notice when lipsticks expire and stuff, and it doesn't really like bother me as much to get rid of lipsticks as it would for me to get rid of like highlighters and blushes and stuff. And eyeshadow palettes, because like I've been such a highlighter and eyeshadow palette lover ever since I started collecting more makeup, because I just can't live without eyeshadow and highlight. They're like my two favorite things. Like, I could live without foundation, concealer, lipstick. Like, I love lipstick too, but I probably could live without like half of the lipsticks that I actually own. So like, I declutter lipsticks a lot faster because I get so overwhelmed with them. So I just feel like I need that excitement back. And I know a lot of people talk about makeup that way, that they feel like they were just overwhelming themselves and overspending and not being excited about it anymore. But at the same time, I need to be more practical and realize that I don't need all of these things in my collection because, again, I already have enough. I have more than enough makeup for one person that I just need to think about. Like when I purchase like a foundation or a concealer, that's different than me purchasing um like an eyeshadow palette or a lipstick or a highlight or a blush because foundations and concealers I use up a lot easier, or I can get rid of a certain foundation if I know it's expired because I've gotten my use out of it. I know it's not good to put on my face anymore, so I'll get rid of it. Like, I went through 6 foundations last year, so if I want to purchase a new foundation, I don't really feel guilty about repurchasing one. Um, but I just am really just trying to be a smarter consumer about purchasing things. So that's basically all I had to say about the no buy part. I do really want a couple of these items that I'm going to share with you guys. This is probably all going to be in a haul video at some point. I'm just waiting for my tax return, so that's why I haven't ordered any makeup. And I just honestly don't want to order anything until I get my tax return. So I wanted to mention a couple of items. I'm not going to show the pictures or anything. I'm just going to talk to you guys about the items. So this is my makeup wish list. So it's right here, and these are the items that are on my list. It's changed over the course of like a year or so. There have been some things that I've been wanting, and then I end up like talking myself out of them. So these are the things that I've mostly wanted, and I talked to you guys about Beauty Bakery and Thrive Cosmetics before. I'm going to mention them again one more time and tell you guys the things that I still want to try from them. So the first thing is the Beauty Bakery new eyeshadow palette, and I actually do have a picture of it on my phone. So I'm just gonna, I was like, show, I'm just gonna show. So I'm just going to show you guys a quick photo of it. So this is what the palette looks like. And it's like a really pretty neutral toned eyeshadow palette. And it's called the Proof is in the Pudding eyeshadow palette. And I've always wanted to try Beauty Bakery's eyeshadows because I actually really, really do enjoy their powder formula. I should have worn their blush today, but I decided to go with, I wanted to wear a couple of Becca products the past couple of days. I wore like their highlighter today, their blush today, and I wore their Jaclyn Hill palette yesterday, so I've been wanting to utilize more of their products lately. But anyway, it is a neutral palette, but I really do enjoy the one cheek palette that I have from them. It's so gorgeous that I really want to try their eyeshadows, and I did want to try their other eyeshadow palette for a while. I forget what it's called. It's like the one that has like the yellow and the blue in it and stuff. I think it's called the Graham Cracker palette. Yeah, I think that's what it's called. And I wanted to try that for a while, but I want something like simple, something I can use like every day and I don't have to be like too overwhelmed on testing it out. So I think this is going to be a really nice palette for me to test out from them. It has some staple everyday matte shades in there, which I'll probably use every single time I use the palette. It has a really beautiful brow bone highlight, a transition, a crease shade, and an outer corner shade, and then I can use butterscotch, chia pudding, or almond jelly on the lid, or butterscotch and spiced caramel on the inner corner. So I'll probably end up testing this out a lot easier. I mean, it'll be easier to test out this palette. So I'm really convincing myself to get this, and I think I do really want to get that. So I am really excited to try that. It's a little bit boring, but honestly, like I need to think about that I don't really need like all these colorful eyeshadows all the time because I don't wear color that often. Like I've been trying, like every Tuesday I've been trying to play with color more often. Like today is Tuesday, but I wanted to do something a little bit more orangey today just because I know I'm not going to be out like too late tonight. I'm supposed to meet her around 6:30. So I kind of want to finish talking about this wish list pretty soon in like the next 10 minutes, but I'll probably finish filming it when I probably when I come back from hanging out with her. So the next thing on my list for Beauty Bakery is their foundation, their concealer, and their baking powder. Now, I have talked about these things multiple times. I haven't heard the best things about the foundation from them, but I still really want to try it. And I also really want to try out their concealer as well. And the baking powder, I've heard nothing but rave reviews about it, so I really want to try that flour powder. And then that's it for Beauty Bakery. I am thinking about trying one of their new lipsticks, which is one of their regular tube lipsticks. They came out with regular lipsticks like last month or something, and I was not a huge fan of their lip whips whatsoever. I don't think they were good pretty much at all. I rarely wear the one that I have, and I had to declutter the other one because it just never worked for me. I hated that lipstick. But I kind of have hope for their regular lipstick formula, but at the same time, there are like two other lipsticks that I want to try from ColourPop. But at the same time, maybe I should just get the lipstick from Beauty Bakery since I have enough lipsticks from ColourPop to last me a lifetime. That I think it would be better for me to try the ones from Beauty Bakery instead. So that's it for Beauty Bakery. Then the next things on my list are from Thrive Cosmetics. Like I've said before, I've had these on my list for quite a while, so I probably will purchase from these two brands. So we have the Thrive Cosmetics bronzer, CC cream, powder, blush, and mascara. Now, the bronzer is probably the number one thing I really want to try from them. I always see Kathleen Lights using it constantly on her channel. She's always talking about it. So it's called the Rhea bronzer. So it looks like a beautiful bronzer, and I don't really purchase bronzers pretty much at all. The last bronzer that I picked up, I believe, was the Milani bronzer, I think, from CVS, and that was like last July or August. I don't even know because that's one of my favorite summer bronzers. So I don't think I've purchased, oh, the Smashbox Ablaze palette, but that's a bronzer, blush, and highlighting palette. And I do love that palette, but I hit pan on bronzer so easily that it's not like an overwhelming purchase for me to purchase like a new bronzer because I don't really purchase bronzers too often. I probably only purchase bronzers like 2 or 3 times a year. And I'll add like 2 bronzers to my collection in like 1 year. So, and if like a palette comes with a bronzer, then that's just a bonus for me. So, then the CC cream, I'm not 100% sure if I'm going to get the CC cream or not because I have like 4, possibly 5 foundations on this list and I really do not need all of them. I'm probably only going to get one. Oh, right, I forgot about this one too. I have a couple of foundations on my list. So I really don't need all of these foundations. I might skip the Beauty Bakery foundation and get the Thrive Cosmetics CC cream instead. I'm not sure yet. I have to determine which foundation I need to get. There's one I definitely really, really want, and I will mention it soon. Then the powder is the next one, which I also really, really want to try the powder from Thrive Cosmetics because, again, Kathleen Lights raves about it, and I've actually been very into baking these days underneath my eyes. That's all I've been doing lately to set my concealer, and honestly, it really has been helping my concealer stay in place a lot better than when I just set it with a brush. So I did use the Milani Reese Conceal and Perfect Original Concealer. And I don't know if that's the same as the new one. Can you guys let me know if it's the same one? I am going to cover that in just a minute, but I do have the old one, and I never really was like a huge fan of it. But ever since I baked it today, I really, really like it. So, I feel like I really want to try that powder because she says that it's one of the only, Kathleen Light says it's one of the only powders that like really, really blurs her pores, or her pores just get erased when she uses it. So I really want to try it. Then I have one of the blushes on here. I think I want to try one of the pink ones. So that would be like probably one of the only blushes that I purchased besides one other blush that I really want. But I haven't really purchased any blushes recently except for that Smashbox of Bleeds palette. So I haven't gotten any new blushes in a while, so I kind of want to try like one or two new ones. And then the last thing is the mascara. A lot of people rave about the Thrive Cosmetics mascara, so I really, really want to try it. I have not touched any other mascara since I've gotten the ColourPop one, and I love it. Look how pretty it makes my lashes look. Like, look how pretty my eyes look right now. Like, I'm obsessed with it. I'm using it every single day. I love it so much. So for me to purchase a new mascara wouldn't be like an impulse buy. Like, when I buy mascara, excuse me, when I buy mascaras, it's not like an impulse buy for me. For mascara, I'll use it up. So, like, I want to try a new mascara at some point. So that's it for Thrive. And then the next thing on my list is the MAC Floral Collection Blush and possibly highlight and one of their eyeshadow primers and concealer. Now, I haven't purchased anything from MAC in quite a long time. I think the only things that I've purchased from MAC is from Marshall's. I don't think I've actually purchased anything from the MAC store in a while. Probably not since I got a couple of things from MAC from Ulta. Oh, I got the Patrick Star lipstick and highlighter. That was the last thing I actually got from MAC, but I got it from Ulta because I wanted to use my 20% coupon. So I at least got a discount on it. But ever since then, I haven't purchased anything. Like, I haven't purchased any limited edition collections. But there is this new collection that is so freaking stunning. Like, the packaging is so gorgeous on it. I want to show you guys a picture. Oh yeah, it's right here. This was like the first picture that they released of the collection, and I think this is a blush. Look how gorgeous this is. So I believe that this is this is a highlighting powder. Look how stunning this is. It has flower petals in it, and then it has like a flower petal print on the outside. Look how stunning. Isn't that so gorgeous? It just looks so beautiful. I think that's the only thing that I'm going to get is the highlighter. I mean, it's a little bit dark, and I probably could use it as a blush rather than a highlight, but it's so beautiful. Like, the outer packaging is white. It just looks so girly and delicate and beautiful that I really want to get it. I think that they just announced when it's actually available. I think it's available in March, so I wouldn't be able to get it until March anyway, but since I don't have money to purchase any makeup, and I already purchased my makeup for February, like, that's it. There's no more makeup for me until I get my tax return, so at least I've been on a no-buy for the rest of this month. So the only other thing I'm probably going to get is my nighttime moisturizer from CVS, so hopefully I'll be able to replace that on Thursday after I get out of work. So that's it for that. And then I do want to get the eyeshadow primer from MAC again, the eyeshadow MAC Prep and Prime, because I actually really do need a new eyeshadow primer, and I kind of want to go back and repurchase that primer because that's one of my all-time favorite primers, and I'm either going to get that one or the Smashbox one. So, they're both pretty much very similar in formula, that I'll either get one or the other, but I do need a new eyeshadow primer. I feel like my Milani one is getting really low, and I just really want to repurchase a primer that I know that I love and really, really works. So I'd rather just have one that I know is going to last a long time and really going to bring out the color in my eyeshadows, that I need to just go get it at some point. And I am debating on whether or not I want to repurchase the MAC Pro Longwear Concealer. It's one of my all-time favorite concealers. I miss having it in my collection. I was kind of thinking about it the other day, and I was like, you know what? I kind of really miss that concealer, but at the same time, I'm like so interested in other concealers right now that it's like, I don't know if I'm going to repurchase that one because there are like a couple of other concealers that I want besides the Beauty Bakery one. Speaking of concealers, the next one on my list is the e.l.f. Camo Concealer. It's like the 16-hour wear concealer that like everybody is talking about. A lot of people say that it's really, really good. But since I just purchased the Kevyn Aucoin one and the Jouer one, and I finally started liking those more because I've been baking rather than just setting it with a powder brush, and it's been looking so much better. I actually really love those when I bake with them now. They don't like crease as much as they do when I don't bake with them, so I really have been loving them. Um, that I'm not sure if I'm going to get this one. I'm probably only going to get the e.l.f. one out of all the ones that I'm mentioning because I don't need the other ones because there are two high-end ones that I'm really interested in. So we'll see about that one. And then the next thing is the L'Oreal Infallible Foundation, like the new Infallible Pro. I forget what it's called. But it's basically the foundation that everyone is talking about, but everybody says it's so good that I really, really want to try it. I think it's just called the L'Oreal Infallible 24-Hour Fresh Wear Foundation. Everybody says it's one of the best foundations, and I really, really want to try it. So I'll probably get it from Target. Oh my God, it's so much cheaper at Target. I think at CVS it's like $17 or something. Like at Ulta Beauty it's $14.99. At Target it's $11. So I think I'm gonna get it from Target because that is so much cheaper. I'd rather go get it at Target than go spend the money at CVS just because I might have a coupon and then it'll end up being the same price anyway as it would be at Target. But yeah, I really want that foundation too, so I really want to try that. That's definitely the #1 foundation on my list because everyone keeps on talking about it. Then the next thing is the Maybelline Stick Foundation and the Wet n Wild Stick Foundation. I'm not sure which one I want to get. I have been using the ColourPop Stick Foundation, and it's not my favorite. I like it, but I definitely prefer my Makeup Forever Stick Foundation over the ColourPop one. I'm going to have to go after I mention this foundation, and then we'll finish up the video later because it's almost 6 o'clock and I have to leave around this time because she's supposed to be getting out of work around now, and I still have to put my jeans on because I kept my sweatpants on. So yeah, I'm going to end the video here and then I'll come back later and talk to you guys. Okay, so I'm probably going to keep on filming this video until my friend answers me. Like right after I stopped recording, I texted her saying I'm probably going to leave in a few minutes, but I'm not going to leave right away until she texts me back because like where I'm going, it doesn't take a half hour to get there. Like she said she wanted to meet around 6:30 and it's like 6:05 right now, so I'll probably leave in like 5 minutes. So anyway, so the reason why I want to purchase the Maybelline Stick, I think it's the Maybelline Superstay Stick Foundation. I want to get the stick foundation over the over the Superstay Liquid Foundation because I saw Jaclyn Hill test out the Superstay Foundation in her video, and also I've heard some reviews about it that people don't like. I've seen like more reviews that people don't like it as much as the L'Oreal one because people say it's very matte as opposed to the stick. I also really want to try the stick because Leora Loves Makeup, I think that's her name on YouTube. I love her channel. She says it's one of her holy grail favorite foundations, so I kind of really want to try it. And then the Wet n Wild Stick Foundation, I think I've seen Kathleen Lights and Nicole Guerrero talk about it, and they both say that they really love it. Kathleen Lights talked about it in her latest What's New in Makeup video, and she said that she really loves it. And I think Nicole Guerrero used the stick foundation in her video when she tried the Hourglass Vanish foundation. She tried it, wiped it off, and then used the Wet n Wild foundation, and she said the Wet n Wild one was better. I think it was the Wet n Wild or maybe the Maybelline, but I know it was a drugstore foundation that she said that was so much better than the Hourglass one. So yeah, I'm interested in like 4 different foundations, but like I'm kind of on like a foundation stick kick, and I kind of want to try a couple of other ones because I've only tried 3 stick foundations in my whole life, I guess. I've only tried the Hourglass stick one, which I didn't like at all. I thought it was too matte for me. I have the Makeup Forever stick foundation, which I really like, and then I have the ColourPop No Filter stick foundation, which is okay. It's not amazing. I didn't like the Hourglass one, and the Makeup Forever one I really do like. So I kind of want to try a couple of other ones. I wasn't a fan of the Wet n Wild liquid foundation, but I'm hoping that I would like the stick one because I've only tried the liquid foundation, the what's it called? What the hell is it called? Mega Glow? Photo Focus foundation. I love the concealer. I don't love the foundation, but I think I'm going to wear the foundation tomorrow and see how I feel about it. Again, I've used it a bunch of times. And then, like I said, the Milani eyeshadow palette, I think it's the Berry Obsessions or maybe the like neutral toned one. I wanted to try at least one of them just to try out the formula because I have tried Milani eyeshadows in the past, but only their single shadows. I've never tried any of their eyeshadow palettes before. But when I get drugstore eyeshadows, I'm not really impressed with them, honestly. Like I don't really say like the drugstore eyeshadow palettes that I have are holy grail for me. I don't like the e.l.f. Matte for Matte palette that much. The Wet n Wild one, I loved the first one that I got, and then it shattered, and then I had to get a new one, and at least it was free when I got it, but I don't like it as much as the first one that I had. I feel like those newer palettes were inconsistent in the formula. And then the NYX birthday one is actually really, really good, but that's not even a palette you can get because you can only get it at Ulta for your birthday. And then what was the other one that I have? I'm not really impressed with drugstore eyeshadows. Like, they're okay, like, but I've never been like a huge fan of drugstore eyeshadows. I like the L'Oreal Infallible single eyeshadows. Those are amazing. But I can't say that there's like anything besides ColourPop or Makeup Geek that I really love when it comes to affordable eyeshadows. But I want to try it. I've heard a lot of great things about that palette. And I want to try the new Conceal and Perfect Concealer, which is basically the coinciding concealer for the Conceal and Perfect foundation. I don't absolutely love that foundation. I'm so mad that I never purchased it in the shade that I need. I don't know why the drugstore doesn't always get every single shade from the actual range because like after I purchased it and saw on CVS.com that there was a much lighter shade that I could have gotten, I was like so upset about it, and like I don't use that foundation really anymore because it's so yellow on my skin, but I really like the formula, so I try to make it work. But I've heard good things about the concealer. But again, I have to determine whether or not I want that one or the e.l.f. one. I can't have both. Like I really don't need, there's like 5 new concealers I want to try, and I don't need all of them. Like that's ridiculous. I don't need 5 new concealers. Then for ColourPop, I know I did just make a order on ColourPop, but there were 2 more things I was interested in, and they're both lip products. I don't think I'm going to get either of these though, just because I don't really need them. I have decluttered almost every single Ultra Matte in my collection, and I have been having a ColourPop month where I've been trying to wear as much ColourPop lipsticks as possible. And I've been wearing a lot of my Ultra Satins recently. I've been wearing Little Star a lot. I've been wearing the Luxe lipsticks quite a bit. So, but I've never tried the Ultra Blotted Lips or the Velvet Blur lipsticks, and those are 2 new formulas from ColourPop. But I just feel like since I have like enough Luxe lipsticks in my collection, which I only have 6, but at the same time it's like, do I really need the Velvet Blur ones? Like they're more lightweight, but I love the Luxe formula the way it is, that I don't know if I really need them. The Ultra Blotted Lips are a little bit different. They're kind of like a stain, and they're a little bit more glossier than like the Ultra Satins, and they're like kind of more, but I don't like stained kind of looked lipsticks as much, so I think I might skip over both of them. I was thinking about purchasing one of each, but at the same time, like maybe I'll only purchase one and that's it. But I'm not just going to place a ColourPop order just to get one. I was possibly, but it's probably not going to happen until probably the summertime. I was possibly thinking about purchasing 2 more of the Zodiac pigments from Kathleen Lights because I love them. They're so stunning. And like I said, since I've worn the twins a lot and the lion, but I'm actually wearing the lion on the inner corners today, and I'm wearing a little bit of Your Majesty because I am wearing the Colored Rain palette today as all the mattes that I used, and then I used the twins on the lid and then the lion and a little bit of Your Majesty on the inner corners, and that's my eye look basically. And it's just so pretty, and I really want to try the ram and the goat, or possibly the scales. So I have to choose probably just one. It's probably going to be the goat because it's such a gorgeous like bronzy tone eyeshadow, but at the same time, I don't know if I really need them because I need to utilize more of my milk pigments soon. Kathleen Lights did like a whole like full face of milk makeup in her most recent video, and it kind of inspired me to pull out my milk pigments again, and she used After Party and Gig, which are the two that I own, and I really want to use them again at some point because, like I said, I've been concentrating on the ColourPop, and I've been using like every single eyeshadow this month that I've wanted to use. I've used all of the ones that I've wanted to use. So I just think I've been doing really well in rotating eyeshadows this month. So anyway, I'm not sure about those either. And then for blushes, there is one blush formula I want to try, and those are the new Buxom, I think they're the Buxom Primer Infused Blushes. I think that's what they're called. But again, Kathleen Lights has been raving about them. They're like basically her new favorite blushes. I think they're called the Primer Infused Blushes. Yeah, Primer Infused Blushes. They just look so pretty. They have such pretty colors. There's like this pink one and this like orangey tone. And I don't know, they just look really stunning. I feel like they're going to have like a satiny kind of feel on the cheeks. And I never really try anything from Buxom. I only have their 6-pan eyeshadow palette that I custom made at Ulta. And then I only tried like their lip glosses. But I don't like their lip glosses. I don't like that plumping formula. But I'm kind of interested in trying them, so we'll see. I'm probably definitely going to get at least one of them. I'm very intrigued on trying it. And then again, when it comes to concealers, I really do want to try the new Makeup Forever Ultra HD concealer. I do love Makeup Forever, but like I don't think I've ever tried a concealer from them, so I'm probably going to try this one over the other one that I'm going to mention. Just because I don't think I've ever tried a concealer from them, which is weird. Like, I've tried their foundations, but I don't think I've ever owned a concealer from them. So I really want to try it. I've heard really good things about it. I heard it's really beautiful. And then the other one is the Fenty Beauty concealer. Now, I had a very negative experience with the foundation. I didn't like it, probably because I was applying way too much every time I was using it. I'm like, Caitlin, you need to apply less product. But I just feel like my skin is too dry for that foundation. But I've been hearing, again, a lot of good things about the concealer, so I kind of want to try it. So I have to determine whether or not I want to try those two, if I want to try the Beauty Bakery one, or if I want to try the e.l.f. one or the Milani one. That's 5 concealers. So I think I'm going to pick 3 out of the 5. So it's probably going to be, but again, the e.l.f. concealer is going to be so cheap. So, but I'm thinking about decluttering a couple concealers. I'm going to declutter the Tarte Shape Tape. I've just determined that I don't like that concealer whatsoever. I tried baking with it a couple of days ago, and I still don't like it. It settles into my fine lines like crazy underneath my eyes, and then it starts breaking up on my face. I'm like, no, I don't like this. Then again with Hourglass. I keep on trying with Hourglass, but it's like at the same time, they're so expensive that it's like I really don't want anything. But I still want that Hourglass bronzer, so I think I'm going to get the Thrive bronzer over the Hourglass one. The Hourglass one is like $50. Like, it's so expensive. So I don't know if I'm going to get that one. Just like so many people talk about it and so many people love it. But I've never tried it, and I have not purchased an Hourglass product in such a long time because they're so overpriced. Like, I feel like they're even more overpriced than Giorgio Armani or Dior. Like, even Dior, the Backstage collection is probably cheaper than Hourglass. Like, the Backstage foundation is $40, and I think that the new Hourglass foundations are like $50. So, you know, like, they're kind of like very high end. They're pretty much a luxury brand. They're expensive. So, ever since I got like the new travel size powder, like, I'm good, you know? And then the same thing about the foundation, the Hourglass Vanish foundation. I haven't been hearing the best things about it. People haven't really been liking it too much. So I don't think I'm going to get it, but I am interested in still getting the new YSL Touche Éclat foundation. It's new to me. It's been out for a long time, but it is new to me. But it's the like updated version from when they discontinued the older one, and you guys know that the discontinued one was one of my all-time favorite foundations. So I'm still thinking about trying out that foundation. And then the last thing that is on my list, I guess I'm going to end up finishing this wish list video since I still haven't gotten a response from her, and then I'm going to go, is trying out a couple of the Jennifer Lopez Inglot products. And I forgot to mention these products a couple of months ago. They've been on my list for a while, but I've never actually tried anything from Inglot. thought my mom was like in the bathroom or something, but she's in the kitchen. And excuse me. I've been interested in trying like one of her lipsticks or one of her highlighting powders for a while. So I might get one or two things from Inglot. I'm not sure yet. I just have to determine what I actually really, really want first from them. If I do get it, obviously I will share them in a haul with you guys. I'm not like 100% sure of what I actually want from them, but I think I definitely want a cheek product and possibly a lip product. I want to try one of her Jennifer Lopez lipsticks. Like, she came out with so many products, and since I love Jennifer Lopez, like, I want to try them. So yeah, that is it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope it wasn't like too boring. I know my videos are long, but there was a lot of things I wanted to talk about in this video. I did actually originally just film an update video like a couple of weeks ago on what I purchased in January. But since I had already hauled those things, like, I didn't think it was necessary to just share those things with you guys again. So I just wanted to make a 2-month update and tell you guys like what I've been thinking about purchasing and how I've been trying to not purchase as much makeup. So I love you guys. Please like and subscribe on all my social media. Please like and subscribe. Follow me on all my social media. Let me know down below if there's any products you've been trying to push out of your collection, what you've been trying to use up. If you're on a no-buy, what you want, what you think you should get, what you think that you shouldn't spend your money on. If you want me to give you any advice or ask me any questions on what you should try or thinking of purchases that you're thinking about making, let me know. I really want to know. So yeah, love you guys. Bye.